All right, so welcome to October Support Group. In this clip, we will have a couple of patients who want to share their red carpet journeys with you. And we thank them for that information because it's going to help support and give the rest of you some motivation to continue with your weight loss journey. Kyle also has a very exciting recipe that I'm sure you're all going to love. And then we have Ryan, who wants to continue to have you guys with your exercising despite the change in the temperatures that are about ready to happen. So continue with your exercise, and here we go.
All right, whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Okay, 9 years ago I entered weight management, and I went through the program for a year, and then I had gastric bypass surgery, and I lost 120 pounds, and I look great. It took a long time to get used to my healthy body, and I used the tools that were here, and through the friendships I've made and through all the helpers here, I've gained a new perspective on life, and I wouldn't go back to my old life at all. It's been a long journey, and I'm still changing my body through exercise, and I think it's a wise move to do this in any capacity, whether it's through surgery or through just healthy management. I'm happy I did it, and I hope you'll do it too.
My journey with healthy weight management began in 2017 with one simple word: surrender. But not in the way you might think of surrender. I was making an active choice to accept my obesity because it was all I had ever known in my life. But then I met a friend who said something powerful. Surrender doesn't always come in the form you think it should. This friend had bariatric surgery a few months prior, and her comment shifted my perspective. Did I really have to surrender to a body in which I was wholly uncomfortable and unhappy? I attended my first support group meeting the very next month, scheduled appointments with Dr. McPhee and Kathy, and opted to have the gastric sleeve in June 2017. Since then, I am proud to have lost more than 90 pounds of excess weight. But more importantly, I have found my light. I discovered a love for moving my body. Within the first year of surgery, I ran my first 5K. Then I completed a 25K trail run. I rode my bike 100 miles from Cherry Hill to Ocean City, New Jersey for Bike MS, and I completed 2 indoor triathlons and 4 sprint triathlons. I have even gone dog sledding. This Shannon was here all along, but surrendering to the idea of helping myself through bariatric surgery was the vehicle by which I discovered her. It's not easy. In fact, making healthy choices can be very difficult, and this journey continues to take a commitment to digging into my health, wellness, fitness, and food issues. But every day, I know the surrender is worth it.
So for this month, I'm doing a little recipe here. I know this might be a little backwards, me being the exercise guy, but I saw this recipe this morning, and we had everything that we needed to make it. So I said, hey, let's give it a try. So what we're doing is a roasted cauliflower salad. So I have a whole head of roasted cauliflower here, just chopped up, sprinkled with olive oil, salt and pepper, all that good stuff. Aluminum foil in there so we don't have to clean up at the end, nice and quick. The recipe that I saw asked for 2 carrots, so I just kind of eyeballed that, chopped up baby carrots, called for 2 dill pickles. All we had was pickle chips, so again, eyeballed that. Then I have some frozen peas, which we'll put about a cup in when we get there. The base of the dressing for this salad is going to be Greek yogurt. I have some mayonnaise to add to it if we need to. But also we're going to juice a lemon in there and put a little bit of toasted sesame oil for a little bit more flavor with that. Also over here on the stove, I just finished 2 hard-boiled eggs, so that's something you could do or buy them pre-made already. So to get this whole thing started, I have the oven set to 400, so I'm going to throw the cauliflower in there for about 25 minutes or so. While that's going, I have a little pot of water back here that I'm going to get going just to simmer the carrots and the peas a little bit, just so that they're not frozen and hard. You know, a little bit of chew to them, but still a little bit cooked because this is going to be a warm salad. So I'll throw these in the oven and we'll come back in about 30 minutes or so once things are kind of ready to put together. Alright, so the cauliflower has about 5 minutes left, but while that was going, I just threw the carrots that we had into this pot here, put some water in, got it going, let it come up to a simmer for a couple minutes, threw the peas in on top just so that they thaw out a little bit. So just because I saw the guy in the video that did this recipe do this, I'm going to do it too. So we're going to drain these veggies out here, and because he said if you let it go your peas are going to get mushy, I'm going to put them right into this ice bath here that I used for the hard-boiled eggs that were here when we started the video. So I'm just going to let this sit for a couple minutes, cool off a hair, stop cooking. We'll pull the cauliflower out, and then we'll get everything together in a bowl, and then we'll taste test and see how it goes. Alright, so the cauliflower is out of the oven, and I'll let you take a look at it here. So just got a nice little roast, a little crusty on some of the edges there. This is my favorite kind of cauliflower, which is why this recipe caught my eye. And then to make the dressing here, so the recipe that I saw that I will put with this called for all mayo, but to make things a little bit better, we're going to start with this Greek yogurt here. So I just put it in the bowl and got it going around a little bit. So again, for some flavor, we're going to put some of this toasted sesame oil in here. Not too much, because it is a little powerful. That might be too much. I don't know. I don't use this stuff often. And then we're going to get the juice of the lemon in here. If you wanted to be real fancy, you could probably put some lemon zest in here too. So this is going to bring a little bit of maybe the acid component to it. So if you didn't have fresh lemon or anything like that, maybe some lime juice or vinegar or something like that. We're also going to get a little acid from the pickles as well. So squeeze that all in there. Get rid of these. Alright, and then we'll just get in here and whisk this up good and see what it looks like. See if maybe we want to add some mayo to it. What do you think? Mayo?
Maybe just a spoonful.
Alright, a spoonful of mayo, she says. So again, maybe like a tablespoon or two. We'll call it 2. And get that going in here. I'm just gonna put a little pepper. A little bit of salt. And then the recipe calls for fresh parsley. But guess what? We don't have that, so we're going to put a little bit of dried parsley in it. Oh, that's maybe too much. And then we'll start throwing some of this stuff together. So we'll start with the eggs, pickles, got the partially cooked veggies. I don't know if this bowl's going to be big enough. And we'll carefully get all this cauliflower in there. All right. So give me a second. We're going to stir this up and then we'll give it a try. All right, so here we go. We got everything mixed together here. Looking pretty good. And then we're going to have our taste tester, Jessica, go in here with a fork and see what she thinks.
I like that all the vegetables are really crunchy. The sesame oil has a different flavor to it that I didn't really expect. It's really good though. I think this would be good served warm or chilled, honestly.
Alright, so maybe we'll be putting this in the fridge then once we're done with it.
I think that's a good idea.
Happy October support group, everyone. We are going to talk a little bit about planning and preparing. That's kind of our message today as we think about exercise moving into the fall season and also wintertime. So that can be a time where things may kind of fall off a little bit. It's cold outside, it's dark, schedule change, so we'll talk about that. But think of this message as a message of encouragement, a message of readiness, and a lot of this will be reminders too, but as we often will say, I think it's more important to be reminded many times than it is to be instructed. So some things we want to consider as we plan and prepare. Again, that's our message. So one of the first things is, what are we going to continue doing perhaps, or maybe start doing or change up what we're doing in these colder months? So if you're a walker, are you going to keep walking through the fall, through the winter time? Because you can. Although some people might say, well, I need to find maybe a different environment. So that leads us into the where. Where are you going to be doing your exercise? If you're an outside exerciser, are you going to be able to keep this up? Which you certainly can. Now, it might require some wardrobe adjustments, like adding on layers, hat and gloves. There's plenty of cold gear out there. Maybe adding a headlight as well. But where are you going to do this? Gym can be a great resource. Your living room, basement, bedroom can also be a place that you can continue or change up your exercises as far as the location. Key question: how are you going to do this? How are you going to make this work? This is a big part of planning. Looking at your day, and especially now, if you have kids, taking care of grandkids, some are at home. My kids are at home doing school virtually. So consider your schedule. How are you going to make this work? When are you going to do it during your day? Let's add that one up there. When? Is it going to be morning? Is it going to be evening? Is it going to be in the midst of your day? Because it doesn't just have to be a checkbox to say, this is my time and that's it. There's nothing wrong with that. But this can be accumulated throughout the day, doing bouts of exercise throughout the course of the day. Finally, why? Silly question, right? Why are you going to keep up your exercise, plan for your exercise moving forward? One of the things that, if you've been around any of us in the fitness center or in a consult, we will often say exercise is your medicine, right? Medicine. Bear with me with my writing also, okay? I know it's chicken scratch. Natural medicine, I should probably add that, right? It is your medicine for, number one, just feeling better. Feeling better. So many times we get focused on exercise to lose weight, right? Makes sense, we get it. But that's one thing that we often will encourage you to move away from as best you can. Most importantly, when it comes to weight, exercise, consistent exercise will help you maintain your weight loss. But when it comes to losing weight directly, exercise directly, very little impact on weight loss. We all know, I think, what does have the most impact on losing weight, and that is nutrition, your diet, right? What we're putting in. But what's really cool, and we've asked people this question, when you are doing exercise, that you know it is your medicine. You know it's helping you feel better, not just physically, but even mentally, right? You just, yes, you appreciate it so much. You value what it is that you're doing. You're finding a way to do it, and you're choosing things that you enjoy, right? Gotta choose things we enjoy. Then many times you're more likely to do better, to do well with your nutrition and your eating habits. So allow these things to be working together in that way. It's okay to say, exercise, wow, yes, I feel better, and it's my tool to eat better as well. So that's, I think, really important to think about. We got to have flexibility with our exercise, right? We have to. as much as we all like routines, our routines can get thrown off like that. And that's happened to a lot of people over the course of the past several months, right? So be flexible with it. It can look different from day to day, week to week, month to month, seasonally. That's okay. It can change. Change is not a bad thing. But how we respond to it, that's the most important. So consider these things as we're heading into fall now. Winter's around the corner. Not that I'm pushing it. I love the heat. I love the summer. But it's where we are. So what are you going to be doing? It could be one thing. It could be multiple. Where are you going to do it? How are you going to make that work? When are you going to do it? So time of day, even throughout the week. Pick your days if it's not daily. Although doing something every day can be a good thing. Why are you going to do it? Here's some of our main reasonings of what we want you to think about. Just feeling better being that number one reason. And I think most people, if not all people, would agree when we say things like, anything's better than nothing. But you really got to buy into that idea, because we really believe that. Even if you're just going to take 10 minutes of your day and do something, we believe that's still going to be a medicine for you to help you feel better. And then apply that feeling better into other areas of your life to help you do other things better, more intentionally, keep your motivation up. So anything's better than nothing. Get that into your mind. That's really important. And one thing that I've often said to people, and if you've met with me, we may have talked about this, but we all want great things to happen. We all want big things, and we support that. Set your goals high. We love that. But at the same time, we got to be able to take these small things and apply them and be consistent with them and be able to manage them. And so if we can't handle the small things, and when we say about something better than nothing, just do 10 minutes of something, sounds easy on paper, but to go apply that can be very challenging, because we get those thoughts that it just might not be enough. Work on those small things, and then gradually you'll be able to handle the bigger things and be able to adhere to that and make this ultimately a balance into your lifestyle, which is what we're all after. We got to find balance with these things, both exercise, nutrition, sleep, balancing, managing stress levels, all these things combined, because this is our overall health, and we want to do this for the rest of our life. That's really what we're after. So hope this was helpful. Again, maybe some reminders for many of us, but good things to consider in this time of year.